All right. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Good morning. All right. We have a great group here. Let's see. All right. So, Ted, what's up, Ted? Good to see you, man. Thanks for doing all the practice updates from the other day or from yesterday. Vicky, good to see you as always. And hey, Humble May, good to see you as always. Awesome. All right, guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back into our Blues Academy and we're going to go through the blues roadmaps that we've been working on, and then we're going to add the Ray Charles ideas. So just a reminder, we've done the whole Ray Charles workshop, and I will actually add that to the membership area, but we'll go over just a very simple, very important thing that we need to learn for playing like Ray Charles, or at least learning how to play like Ray Charles. So if you would, say hello when you get into the chat, and even say where you're from if you want to do that. And also make sure you like this video. Let's get up to about 20 likes. I think we've been doing that almost every time. And so this, it's 9:07. I think we'll go to about, realistically, 9:45. So I'll try to shut it down. I'll start shutting it down at around 9:35, but I know we always go a little bit over. So good morning to you guys. As a reminder, yesterday we started off with the very first example from iMusicAcademy, the one that is in our video where we are about to get to 1 million views, which is going to be a great accomplishment for us. And for you guys that were on yesterday, or if you're in the Blues Academy, you know that we're going to do something special for a young student, like a teenager. Well, it definitely will be a teenager. We've done things where we've bought instruments before. We've sent a kid to jazz camp and scholarships for lessons and things like that. So we're going to do something for somebody when we hit 1 million. And I'll also do a giveaway of some kind to our iMusicAcademy YouTube family. So thank you guys for being here. And I love your participation. You can ask any kind of questions that you have in the chat. And let's begin by warming up Blues Example 1 with our 8th note bass line. Now this is just to get the fingers going. We're doing an 8th note pattern, and just to remind you, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I want you to use, so we're using root 5th to root 6th of the C scale. And we will have a reminder of our 3 major scales for today. It'll be C, F, and G. Those are our scales for the week. I'm just doing root 5th and root 6th. So this pattern, an 8th note pattern, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it doesn't matter what key I'm in, it's going to be the same exact fingering. If I'm in E flat, I'm going to use 5-2 and 5-1 for me, and I'm using root 5th to root 6th of any scale of any key. But it's great to practice hands separate, and because I've practiced this so much, I don't even really have to think about the left hand, and I can even talk to you guys why I do it. Now, if I had never played this before, never practiced this before, I wouldn't be able to do that. That's why I like to encourage everybody to practice hands separate and build up that muscle memory. But I also want you to be able to say, well, how do you lock up the hand with the right hand? Well, you guys know you have the sheet music. That's the first thing for those of you who read music. But the other thing is I start locking up the hands, 1 and 1 and 2 and I can play it slow and straight. This is where my classical background comes in, where I like to break things down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and when we actually play this song, we have a lilt to it. Hey, Claire, good to see you. I was Claire was up late last night, and we were just chatting through email, I think, or text messages. I can't remember. You guys, maybe it was email. But yeah, Claire and I were hanging out last night talking about Ray Charles and things like that. So Claire, we're going to do a little of that today, and it's always good to see you and our Blues Academy family. You guys are awesome. So here we go. Remember that as we get into the feel, 1 and 2 and 3, I'm thinking 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and that's why it sounds a little bit more laid back. But to get there, we can actually practice it very slow and very straight, like a classical person would do. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 And just a little side note for those of you who don't know, I have been having neck trouble from doing this thing where I'm playing and I'm teaching, and so I'm trying to look at the chat. And thankfully, our iMusicAcademy family has already started this crazy fundraiser for me to help get us a desk. And I have a guy building a desk, so the desk will have, I have to turn this way to talk to you guys. So the desk will have a pull-out keyboard. So we'll still have the top-down view and everything, but I won't have to look to situate myself just to be able to talk to you guys. So we'll talk about that later. But the reason I mention that now is because when I'm talking to you, I have to stop playing and turn this way, and then I can look at the chat and answer any questions you have. Okay, so back to the music. I just didn't want you guys to think I'm ignoring you at times. Now this is great, right? We're warming up, getting that flat third to your major third, and I'm going up to the 4 chord, which is an F chord in second inversion, and then up to a C7 and without the third in the middle. So as I'm playing this, I know my C major scale, and so do you guys, and I know that that's the 1, the third note, the 5th note, and then the flat 7. Well, how do you find a flat 7? You go up to the 7th note and you flat it. So I get this pattern going right here. And notice that I'm sliding from that minor third to major third. So I'm using fingers 2 and 3. You can use 2 and 4, but I go 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 5. And I just rock back and forth with that. 1, and I always go back to the C on the end. 1 and 2 and 3. But if I'm having trouble locking that up, I'm going to straighten it out and do it slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now, because yesterday I did a beginner breakdown, I'm not going to do as much of that in this lesson. We're going to talk about our blues roadmaps, and I'll get a drink of water in just a minute. But in our blues roadmaps, what in the world are blues roadmaps anyway? Let me give you guys a quick tour of what the Blues Academy, something that I've always wanted to do and to have. And Claire knows, and Ted knows, and Vicky knows that there has been a kind of an underground Blues Academy for a year and a half, and Claire has been there from the very beginning, and so has Vicky. And Ted is a recent member, and we're thankful to have Ted. But Ted is very involved, which I love. So check this out. The Blues Academy, I always wanted to, I love selling courses and creating courses that help you guys, and I love working with you and doing lives and everything, but I wanted to have something online that is community-based. So I switched from this idea of just courses. I don't like the idea when people buy courses and there's no direction. Like I hope and trust that they'll go through everything, but sometimes we need somebody to work with, and we need a community exactly like we have right here. They talk to each other even before I get on the stream, and they encourage each other, and we talk about what's working, what's not working. So finally, a year and a half ago, I invested in a platform, and we've been doing it just as a private thing. I've had 6 students for the last year and a half, and it's been an amazing thing. And since then, we've had, in the last week when I said I was opening it, I think we have 3 or 4 people that have signed, that have been a part of what we're doing, and I think I have 3 slots left, but that's for anybody who is interested. This is not what today's about. I want to show you what the membership is like so that anyone can make that decision on down the road whenever you feel comfortable. But here's why I even bring it up, is Blues Roadmaps does something that I wasn't able to do before, but all the courses are within the membership, and so we're working on, yesterday we did Blues Example 1, and I sent out the music, and it's in the comments, by the way. If anyone wants to grab the music, you can look at yesterday's video, and I just put 2 links. Just download, and you're good. And they're very quick download. I think we put it in the comments section and in the chat. But what you want to do is get those PDFs because they really help you. And then for these guys, when they're done with the lesson, they hit boom, mark as completed, and they're done, and then we move on to the next thing. But having my courses or anybody's courses, you have to have a plan. And that's where the Blues Roadmaps come in. So today's lesson, what we're doing is we're reviewing from yesterday. And yesterday we did the Blues Alt Bass course. So we did this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And I'll do a review on that. And in just a minute. And then we did another bass line, more Ray Charles-ish. 1 and 2 and 3. 1. And I'll talk about that in just a minute, but let me go ahead and switch over here and let's go into the membership area. And Ted and Vicky and Claire, make sure you guys go in there and make a conscious effort to, I'm going to go into the membership area, I'm going to practice that, and then I'm going to mark as completed. It may take you a week to do, it may take you longer, but when we get done with it and you feel confident, then you hit mark as completed, and that way we'll know where each of us are as we go through this. So here we go. Uh-oh. Hey, yeah, you guys get to see me sign in as myself. Okay, so when I pull it up, so I'm going to hit Blues Volume 1, which I just did. Let me show you guys real quick. This is kind of cool. And just for you guys who are on this stream, and I want you guys to know what I added yesterday. So yesterday, of course, we added the blues bass lines, and then this morning I added the blues shapes course, and then we also have the blues shapes in all keys, which people seem to really like. So this morning also I added below. Let me show you. Gosh, I didn't add it on the template yet. But what I added was I'm adding a section for the woodshed that has the 32 examples for the transposition toolbox. I'm going to put that in the Jazz membership, and I already did it this morning, and I just haven't. I added the whole PDF. I just did not hit save under the new template, whatever. So more information than you guys care to know about. Okay, so now let me go into the blues alternate bass real quick. I'm looking for the one we need for today. I'm starting to wonder, is the New Orleans one in the volume 1 of the alternate bass? It may not be. We have 27 different patterns, and blues alternate bass lines number 1 has 10 bass lines. So let's do this one. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Let me pull it up, make sure you guys can see it. Okay. Okay, can you guys even see that? Can you guys see the bass line? So basically, this one, the more Ray Charles one, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So this is just taking the C triad to the next level. When I say next level, we're adding that A note, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So for this bass line, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. The and of 2 is the note that you want to focus on. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So I tell you what, I'm going to back up and just make sure you guys know this one, because this is a little bit more difficult than this. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. I get so many people ask me about even this bass line. The great thing about a bass line like this is that it fits right under the hand. The triad fits right under the hand, C, E, G. And watch this. So somebody pick a key, any key. And thank you to everybody who's already got us up to eight likes. That's really helpful. That lets me know that you guys are here and enjoying this. And then somebody else be bold and say hello in the chat as well. Be bold. We're in this together. G, I can't play in G. All right, so G, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So notice, if I'm transposing anything, I'm going to go to the key of G. So for instance, G has 1 sharp, it's F sharp, so I can first build the triad. The triad is the 1, 3, and 5 of the major scale. And now I have my bass line because it's going to be the exact same shape and the exact same motion. My finger memory, muscle memory, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And the thing you have to remember on this particular bass line, it's the and of 2, which is the tricky spot. 1 and 2 and 3 and then the downbeat is on 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And so as I put this together with my right hand, and you guys see the sheet music, oh actually not for this one, but 1 and 2, I'll go down here. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and so where does my third note, let me just go up the octave to make sure you guys can see. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and my G with my thumb gets the B. 1 and 2 and 3 and now watch this. The D goes with the C and E. And this is a slide key. Right? We have slide keys or hammer-on keys, and that takes care of all 12 keys. Okay, so I would work with that. Now somebody else pick another key. And make sure you guys understand that. And remember that if you have more experience, I want to encourage you guys to practice in all keys, all of these exercises. And that brings up another thing that we're going to talk about is in the Blues Academy, you'll see that in Blues Volume 1 in all keys, part of the roadmaps for success is Blues Example 1 in all keys. And it's broken down in three licks per video. So at first we do this, then we go up a half step, which is not a slide key. It's a hammer-on key, and so is D major, okay? So we'll keep talking about that. All right, so Ted picked B. Okay, so we're here at C, and I like to call this a comfort key. So something that's very comfortable to us. So as we start transitioning or practicing other keys, it's important to know that if you get frustrated, go back to a key you know, like the key of C. So we have our bass line 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now watch this. This is for everybody here, is that first, if Ted said B, that I want to make sure that I know the scale of B. So B has 5 sharps, and F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, and that's the 5 sharps, and we learn that by knowing what's called the order of sharps. Fat cats go down alleys eating bread. So fat cats go down alleys. That's a trick that I like to teach everybody who learns major scales with me. So fat cats go down alleys eating bread are our 5 sharps, and my scale for B major is 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. A really unique but easy fingering if you really think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so once we have that, the next thing is we have to find the triad. If we know the scale, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, B, A sharp, G sharp, F sharp, E, D sharp, C sharp, B. And the reason I can do my scales going up and down is because, as you guys know, there's a special way I like to teach how you learn the scales going up and also be able to verbally and mentally think of them going both directions. Okay, so B major, 1, 3, and 5 of the B major scale. 1 is B, 3 is D sharp, and F sharp. So that's my bass line. I'm going to use 5, 3, 1. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And now, on my triad, which is example 1, the way it starts off, in the key of B, I can't slide onto that major third, so I have to hammer on. Yesterday's lesson we talked about how to do this, so I won't spend too much time, but you use finger 2 to 3 to 1. 2, 3, and there's my triad right there, but I have to hammer on to go minor third, major third, so I can at least kind of get into that slide kind of sound. But I'm hammering on. And this is just a skill you have to learn how to do by repetition and playing it really slow. But I'm visualizing getting to that triad. So there we go. And I always go back to the thumb on the end. 1 and 2, and that's the 4 chord of B scale. And that's the second inversion E chord, B, E, and G sharp. And then I go up to a B7 chord without the third note, F sharp and A. And my fingering is going to be 2, 3, 5, thumb, 2, 4, 1, 3, 5. Okay, let me put that with the left hand. 1, I hammer on, and I'm on that major third when I hit that B. 1 and 2 and. There's my D sharp with the B. 2 and 3 and on the way back down on beat 4, I'm on the E and G sharp. Now, if you're more on the beginner side of things, you may just want to practice right hand only. 1 and 2 and 3. Or just the left hand only. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And guess what happens if you feel a little bit frustrated? Go back to C and practice that. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Now, if you have a lot more experience, go back and forth. Now, let me show you one other very important thing. There are only 2 fingerings for this lick. There's either a hammer on it or a slide off, okay? How cool and important is that? The fact that we can do this, the slide, hammer on for D flat, hammer on, slide for E flat, hammer on, slide, hammer on, slide, hammer on, hammer on, slide, and back to B. Okay, you guys get the idea. All right, let me just turn around here and check on you guys to see if you have any questions regarding anything so far. We're getting a lot done today. Okay, since we're in the alternate bassline course right now, let me spend a little time on the Ray Charles-ish bassline. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, we're gonna break this down. The first thing I notice is once again we have the and of 2 where something happens. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If I put it with blues example 1 and 2 and. Notice that my C is hitting with the and of 2. That's a really important, crucial note to get to. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3. Watch this. And 4 and. I'm at the G and C and 4, F and A. And then G and C for the 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You can play anything if you learn how to straighten it out. Like if I said to several of you, if I said, all right, now here are the notes, we're going to do this right here with this. Many of you would go, I can't do that. You go. And then something would go off. You couldn't maybe do the left hand and right hand together. And the reason is because we're not really used to playing where it feels like we're doing 2 things at the same time. But all we're really doing is playing things that actually line up. We just have to learn how to practice them. And this is where we slow things down, we straighten it out, and we have music to help guide us. Even if you don't feel like you're a great reader, you can literally, mathematically, or even visually just say, oh, this note is lined up over here, and they're directly on top of each other, so you can see where the beats line up. But you also have me that's helping you get there. So listen, I can go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Notice that I'm not playing with any kind of swing feel. Now I'm thinking like a classical person and learning how to lock it up, because guess what I'm doing when I do this? I'm building up muscle memory. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I can even practice that. And 4 and 4 and 1 and 2 and those are together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and then the good news is that for C, F, and G, the muscle memory is exactly the same. Now we're on F. G. You guys get the idea on that. All right, I hope that really helps you or encourages you to know that you can straighten all of this out. This is why I decided to create the alternate bass line chorus, using one lick, this lick right here, with all kinds of different bass lines. Because guess what? When we do this right here and we practice this, we're already building up muscle memory, so that when I change the bass line, if I play, this is already muscle memory as well, and I've practiced doing it slow. And a lot of lessons with you guys too, but eighth notes, or the New Orleans feel, or this. So even when I go to other keys, it's all in my muscle memory, because we've practiced these things very slowly, and we have these ideas where we say, okay, today we're going to work on 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and starting your day off with this is not a bad idea to do. All right, so before we go into our Ray Charles part for the right hand, I want to say a couple other things about practicing this stuff. Let me check the chat real quick, and let me get a drink of water. I'm going to turn around with my awesome neck problems there. Yeah, counting out loud. All right, everybody write something in the chat. Either something that you're working on, or something you're having trouble with, or just say hello. And thank you. Let's get to 10 likes. You guys can do it. Counting the hammer on. Yeah. Yeah, the great thing about knowing that and not being afraid of a thing like a hammer on is you're building up a skill when you do that. You hammer on that minor, or slide the minor third to major third, or hammering onto that major third. The great thing is you just knocked out all keys by learning that skill. And I don't expect everybody to get it right away. I want you to go at your own pace when it comes to transposition. But I do have some really important things to share with you guys to help the fast track to playing in all keys. You know, yesterday we started the transposition toolbox thing, and I did upload that, by the way, that PDF. I think I told you that already, but I just uploaded this morning the transposition toolbox, and we'll talk about that at the end of the lesson today. We'll go over a couple of those exercises, but the thing I wanted to tell everybody who's listening before we go into the Ray Charles thing is this: when you learn your major scales, and that's one thing I love to teach, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. If you really know your major scales, then it makes transposition pretty easy, not just in learning the patterns, but I can say, all right, C, E, G, that's 1, 3, 5 of a C major scale, C, E, G, 1, 3, 5, and then I go, okay, minor third, that's going to be E flat to E. Now, if in learning how to do this, everybody can do this. This week we are doing as a group C, F, and G. Right? We did this yesterday, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And because of writing a comma, C, D, E, F, and had everybody write this out, and thankfully Ted put that in the chat. He cheated for us, wrote it out. No, I told him to do that. C, D, E, F, put a comma, G, A, B, C. Now, on the way back down, and I used to practice this. This is the way I started music in college, and it was like, okay, today you have to learn, or this week you have to learn all your major scales. And I'm like, what? And all these people had music before. And so anyway, I just wrote out my scales, and I put a comma. I couldn't memorize them really easily, so I was thinking, let me put a comma there. And so then I started doing C, D, E, F, C, D, E, F. Okay, I can break it up in groups of 4. C, D, E, F, and then I work on that, and then I go G, A, B, C. Then I do it on the way back down. C, B, A, G, C, B, A, G, C, B, F. Then I put those together. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Now, guess what? I don't have to be at a piano to do that. Right? You can do it anywhere. You can, instead of counting sheep before you go to bed, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Now, why does this help you? If I'm playing any kind of scale or a line as I go down, I'm thinking C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Or if I'm trying to tell somebody like Ted or Vicky or Claire or Humble May how to play something, I can speak like that of how to think C, B, A, G, or C, B, B flat A. We're thinking in terms of jazz licks or blues chords, C, E, G, B flat. And you will get better at this stuff. But having blues roadmaps or having a system that you come up with, that's what I would encourage you to do. Don't try to learn it all in one sitting. One sitting. So for us, this week we're doing C, F, and G. And I'm going to do a quick reminder because you guys know I say repetition is our friend. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Our fingering is, and we're just going to do right hand only. C, 1, 2, 3, thumb under, and then you go F, G, A, B, C. On the way back down, it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So let me play the scale again very slowly, and then let me practice saying C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. On the way back down, C, B, A, G. And I work on that, make sure I have it, and then I'll say it all out loud. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Let's go to key of F. F has 1 flat. It's B flat. So F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. So if I was using this same idea, I would write out the scale of F. F, G, A, B flat, put a comma, F, G, A, B flat, and then C, D, E, F. Those are my groupings of 4. On the way back down, F, E, D, C, F, E, D, C. Well, let me do it the other way. F, G, A, B flat, F, G, A, B flat. And then that's the first part. I get that, practice that for a while. Then I'll do C, D, E, F, C, D, E, F, C, D, E, F, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. And then I work it on the way back down. F, E, D, C, F, E, D, C, F, E, D, C, B flat, A, G, F. And then I put it all together. F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, F, E, D, C, B flat, A, G, F. All right, very good. May take you a week. I don't think it'll take anybody a week if you practice this stuff. So, the third scale that we're learning this week, and we keep repeating, it's the same fingering, by the way, for C, G, D, A, and E. If you learn the C major fingering, you can have 5 different scales you can play with that same fingering. So G major has 1 sharp and it's F sharp. So my scale, 1, 2, 3, G, A, B, and then my thumb comes under, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. My scale, or that I'm going to write out, G, A, B, C, comma, G, A, B, C, comma, D, E, F sharp, G. That's my second four notes. D, E, F sharp, G, D, E, F sharp, G, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Now work on the way down. G, F sharp, E, D. G, F sharp, E, D. Work on that for a while. G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A, G. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A, G. Okay. Once we learn that, that really helps us out for the next thing I want to tell you is that every day that you sit down at the piano, I always encourage you guys to do something to get your fingers moving. And my 50 days, I have some all access members that do 50 days to flying fingers. And you guys know that it's great to warm up your fingers with the 50 days to flying fingers example 1. What's up, Jeffrey? Everyone say hey to Jeffrey. I can always count on Jeffrey to show up 100% every time. Very thankful for Jeffrey, saxophone player, multi-instrumentalist. He's awesome. Okay, so 50 Days of Flying Fingers, example 1. Remember that you get the triad going. I'm not going to teach this because I've been teaching this. It's 4 times. Got to hold the bottom notes. And then you do it from the top down. Triad, then F, D, and C. And you do that 4 times. Now, just that one exercise, I guarantee you, will take you from an old technique to a brand new technique. Now, and that's just example 1. Out of all the courses that I've created at iMusicAcademy, you guys know that that is my absolute favorite course that I've ever created. I put so much time, energy, effort, and I had great instruction when I first started music with a world-class concert pianist who taught me a lot about the hand and how to use the hand. I literally, when I was studying with him, it was $100 a lesson. And I took his expertise and his knowledge that he thankfully poured into me, and then my love for jazz and creating exercises and things of my own. I made this whole course, 50 Days to Flying Fingers. It's literally 50 exercises plus actually a lot more, and every day is not only a lesson, a different lesson, but it's also me practicing with you guys. And anyway, it is a game changer. So I'm encouraging anybody to practice this. And for my Blues Academy members or my All Access, you guys know you've tried this. And the first time you tried this, how did you do? And most of you will say, wow, I didn't realize how weak my fingers were. But if you consistently do even just that one exercise, you will know a difference. So the other thing that I want to tell you is another example of, I think might be example 2 in the course, is just this. You're going up the first 5 notes of the blues scale, and those of you guys who know about my shapes course, it tells you that if you know these first 5 notes of each scale, the blues scale, you could turn those around to make all kinds of really cool improvisations just with 5 notes and knowing this specific shape. So this would be an example of a great exercise if you're a beginner to practice to get all your fingers moving. And then if you're more experienced like Jeffrey and Claire and Ted and Vicky, you guys play that one exercise in all keys. If you look at example, let me show you guys something in the membership area. So look at the end of Blues Volume 1. I think I'm a little bit delayed here, so okay, you see how it says all keys training? I put that as the end of Blues Volume 1, and all it is blues first 5 notes in all keys. I think that's what that is. But I always like to do one thing, something to get all my fingers moving, and then you're practicing in all keys. And a little side note, I'm not just doing muscle memory. I'm thinking I've spent time to say, all right, C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, that's the flat third. To make a blues scale, that's the fourth, that's the sharp fourth, and that's the fifth. So as I'm learning that, no matter what key I'm in, now I'm in D major, and I go, okay, root, flat third, fourth, sharp four, and fifth. So now I not only have a pattern, I also know my theory. And the way we learn this and the way we do this together is we learn our major scales. All right. How about that, guys? You guys can do it. Okay, we're going to shift gears for our remaining time into the Ray Charles idea. This is going to be a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, how has the time flown by? All right, so check this out. Humble May, this is more of a blues stream for today for my Blues Academy for sure. But the good news for them and anybody else is that a lot of these things will apply to jazz, especially the blues training that we're about to do, which is the Ray Charles stuff. And you talk about bebop and things, even in here's not a side note, but just my members know this. So we've been doing our transposed toolbox, and this is a great thing. I absolutely loved how this course came to be. This is not a public course. This is just one that I came up for my students. Is that everything pretty much can fit under the hand as we're learning about transposition. So for this week in our blues roadmaps, we even did, all right, so we have the first C, D, E, F, G, and you practice that, C, D, F, G, the first 5 notes of the major scale. Now watch what happens if you just do this. Da, 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 da. Now you're already doing it. That actually is a jazz bebop melody. Ba, ba, da, 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 da. That's what's the song? Is that How High the Moon? I'm losing my mind. But you get the idea. Even if you did just this first idea and you turn around the major scale and go to the octave, now that's already gives you jazz improvisation. So any key you're in. Right? Now, guess what? If you did the minor version, which is, I think, the third example, minor version, now you have. So it doesn't matter what key I'm in. Now I'm starting to get confidence playing in all keys. And so that's one of the things why I absolutely love this idea of the transposed toolbox, because everything fits and all these crazy ideas come right in the 5-note pattern. And for a a jazz example, watch this. If I go, there's my target note, E, and I'm right around the triad. That's called an enclosure, right? We're enclosing the note E by approaching from above, below, and a rival note. So it doesn't matter what key I'm in. Yep. I love teaching Oscar Peterson things, and actually Blues Volume 3 has Oscar Peterson licks in it, and which I absolutely love, and those come right out of the blues scale, and you guys know. All right, let's dig into the Ray Charles idea, and then we'll wrap up. So we're gonna go to 10 o'clock, and thank you guys for the likes. You guys are awesome. And love our iMusicAcademy family. So here we go, guys. When we did our workshop, we were in the key of E for this lick, from what I'd say. But we also have been learning it in different keys, but specifically C, because that is a key that we really know and we really like, because it helps us to really learn these things in a simple way and a great visual way. So this one lick starts on the 5th of whatever key you're in. So we're doing this. We're going to do... Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on the fingering this because I've broken this whole thing down and done workshops and all of that. But the main thing I want you to understand is get used to sort of down-home fingerings, right? You come from a classical world. Thank you, Humble May. All right, so classical world, I never would have thought of playing as I'm going to the F note using 4/3, and people like Ray Charles and other brilliant musicians taught me this idea of down home fingering. I don't even know why I call it down home fingering, but it's not something that you would just learn necessarily in a book, especially from the classical world, but you get used to the sound of using your middle finger to slide, for instance, from one note to the next, especially on a downward approach. It just really works, and I never thought it would till I started doing it. So watch this. I'm using 1, 2, 2, 4, 5, and on the way back down, I'm going to go 3, 3, 2, 1. All right, now... The great thing about this, 1 and 2 and 3, let's think about where the beats line up. First of all, starting on the 5th of C, so we're good there. And I'm actually using the F and the F sharp to kind of approach that. And my arrival note is G. 1, 1. 1 and. So my B flat goes with my C and G again. 1 and 2. Beat 2 gets the C and A. 1 and 2. Let me do that again very slowly. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. Now, notice what I'm doing right there. I am straightening this out and I'm playing it very slowly. Right? Does everybody understand that? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Again. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Practice it right hand only. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, now I'm going to show you something else. Since we only have a certain amount of time here, we have 6 minutes. Okay. Sorry, I had an important text come in. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, as I'm playing this and straightening it out, what if I did the other bass line? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. So that F sharp to F gets the and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The G and C are together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Here's the other bass line. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's nice. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, now I'm going to show you one other tip as we wrap up, and that is this. And blues volume 1, we have the one of those examples uses the A note. I absolutely love the way the A note feels over the blues. There's certain notes that I really gravitate towards, gravitate to. One of those is, for instance, the flat 7, da 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 da. If I want to go major sound, sliding off there, I love that sound of starting my day. Da 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 da. Gives me that major third and minor third, but that flat 7 sets up the nice tension for the blues. Da da, sorry, da 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 da. Da 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 da. Now, if I go down to the 6th note, da 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 da, again, da 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 da. Now that would be an example of a perfect thing to learn in other keys, a simple idea. But the most important thing is that note, da da da, going to the minor third is a great sound, getting to that minor third. And guess what? You guys know the trick of here's your C blues and here's your 3 notes down. You use the A blues, the first note, and all those notes are going to work over your C blues, the A blues scale. Put it with the first example. And the great thing is, even when I go to the F chord, I can still use the A blues scale and think C blues scale throughout that whole thing. All right, now the reason I'm showing you these things is because watch this. This same idea of starting on the 5th, you can also start the same kind of concept on the 3rd, the flat 3rd to the major 3rd. Because guess what happens? It gets me to that 6th idea, the 6th idea, right? So A, and even in this idea of starting the same feel, but starting it on the minor 3rd to major 3rd. Listen to the 2 sounds. Other way. How about the major 3rd? So does that make sense to you guys? It's 9:58. We're going to wrap it up here in just a minute. So let's talk. Has anybody enjoyed this lesson? And does anybody have any questions? I see we have 8 people watching. Please let me know, and we'll say our goodbyes here in a minute. Awesome. And I would take that while we're saying our goodbyes and asking any questions that you have. I want you guys to know that this idea so you use it with different bass lines and spend time right hand only, and I want you to get used to that fingering. 1, 2, 2, 4, 5, and try to go 3, 3, da 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 da. It's a certain feel that you're trying to get, and using that down home fingering will help get you there. All right, so for my Blues Academy members, your assignment is to keep going through C, F, and G. No, that is not on blues. That was from our Ray Charles workshop, which that was before I knew you, Ted. We did Ray Charles workshop, I want to say in January. Claire would have to verify when that was. But it's Claire's fault that we started doing the Ray Charles thing. So I say it's not Claire's fault. It's credit to Claire. And as a matter of fact, when we created for my iMusicAcademy students and members, you guys know that I always create a song for you. And so Claire has the Claire de Blues, which is kind of a fun thing off of Claire de Lune, but it's Claire's, which has that bass line. But also, we did a happy birthday version in the style of Ray Charles. It's really cool. And I'll have to show that to our people again. But yes, Ted, I'm going to upload that workshop in there. What's up, Peter? Peter, man, we're getting the whole. This is very cool. So I told you guys we have a total of 6 people that have been in my unofficial academy. So you guys are looking at the blues version of the academy. So here's where we are on this. Well, let me go back here. Again, it was my dream come true to invest in something that would enable me to do all the courses and create memberships so that we could really get courses plus community. I don't want to sell courses. I want to sell courses and make sure all of you are going through them. It's really important to me. So anyway, so we created this membership platform, and these guys that are on right now have been on from the beginning. It's really cool. So and recently we started the Blues Academy, which is everything blues, right? So you have Blues Volume 1, 2, 3, 4 are in here. Blues Basslines, Blues Shapes in all keys. Blues Volume 1 in all keys. I still have to add the individual files to Blues Volume 1 in all keys. But what I love about where we're going with the blues shapes, I'm going to hit access now to show you. See, example 1, each one of these has 3 examples. So as you're learning blues in all keys, Blues Volume 1 in all keys, it's also, in addition to having me live every week and encouraging you guys, you also have the material at any time where you can go, all right, today I'm going to work on example 1 and do 3 keys. And you get to mark, hey, I'm completed, I'm done with that. I also have in the IMA Blues Academy Woodshed, I've decided to add our transposition toolbox, which I already added. I just forgot to hit save and publish. So that's coming to you guys as well. But also, I want my members to do this. Remember how we did example 1 through 4 yesterday? I still want you to do that. So you'll do 1 through 4, and remember the minors, right? And eventually, by the end of the week, you'll have all of those for the first 4 examples for C, F, and G. So your assignment, let me give you your assignment, is to do blues example 1 in C, F, and G. Remember, it's the same muscle memory. You're working on that. And then the other one that I want you guys to do is I want you to do example 10 in Blues Volume 1. Let me pull it up to make sure that's the right one. Lick number 10. Yeah, it is. So you guys here, we've been doing this with you. The third of the scale up to the root. And even in Blues Volume 4, we go over all the way up and down the keyboard with that same idea. That's a great lick because it uses one fingering for all keys. Thumb up to your pinky and down chromatically with your second finger. And you end on the flat 7 and the 5th. And so here's your assignment for that. You have Blues Volume 1. And for those of you with more experience, you're going to do your other bass lines where you're using this bass line, the quarter note bass line, and I'm sorry, the 3 different bass lines we're using is the quarter note, because we already been doing the 8th note. So quarter note, and then the New Orleans feel, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and then the Ray Charles-ish, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So you're going to practice that, and then you're going to also practice example 10, which is this. Okay, so when you go to the key of F, third up to the root, chromatically down. And the reason that I can do this without even having to think about it is because I've done the same thing that I make you guys do, is we learn our major scales. So then I say, all right, Ted, third up to the root. Whatever key you're in, you've worked on A. So I go, okay, there's a third of A. 1, 2, 3, up to the root. Down, crossover, and there. And so repetition, and it's really starting to sink into these guys. All right, let me go back to the chat and say goodbye here. Okay, so here's what's cool. Awesome. Yeah, hey, Claire, that's so cool that you were able to get on this morning. I was kind of really surprised. That's really cool. All right, so check this out. So for those of you who are hanging out, thank you again for being here. And I told our iMusic Academy family that about our 6 people that we had for the last year and a half. They've all stayed with me, and then I said I would add 6 more. And over the last week, we added 3 or 4 that have joined us. But I'm only taking 6 students at a time per month right now, per month. So April, the rest of April, I have like 2 or 3 slots. I'm only saying this because it's not right now it's not for sale in the store. You'd have to let me know. I want to be a part of it, and we talk through it. But here's what I know is that like this is why I do what I do right here. But how cool is it that Ted's here? Jeffrey has always supported my channels here. Claire has been with me since the beginning of launching all this stuff. Vicky's been here. Peter, of course, has been here from day one. Claire's been here. And this is really cool. You guys checking in. That's really awesome. And there are different people that, of course, are scattered throughout the world. My dad's a member of our academy. We got Ian is a part of it. Anyway, you guys are awesome. This is really cool. So log into the membership area for sure, and mess around with that stuff, guys. And thank you again to the YouTube community for hanging out. I'll wrap up with this. One fun little tradition I've been doing over the last few streams. I put Road to 1 million. We are 900 and maybe 91,000 or close to 991,000 views until we get to 1 million for this How to Be a Blues Pro in 1 hour or whatever. That terrible quality video, people seem to have liked it, and many of you, that's the reason you found me, which is hilarious. But anyway, we're going to do something fun for somebody. We're either going to buy a young man or woman an instrument, or we're going to buy them or get them music lessons, or send them to a jazz camp, or help with tuition for something in their local community. So we're going to do one of those 3 things. I'm also going to give away something to the iMusic Academy community for getting us to 1 million views when we get there. And so you guys can help me figure out what would be a good gift to give our iMusic Academy community. And then other than that, there's one other thing. I want you guys, anybody watching, go to that video, and if somebody can put the link to that video, it's the most popular one on the YouTube channel, How to Be a Blues Pro in 1 hour, and put a comment in there. You guys did it yesterday, and it was really cool to see you guys commenting on that video, because it's still getting a lot of traffic, and it'll help us get there even quicker. But I'm ready to hit that 1 million and then move on with that from that. It is amazing, though. That video alone gets me 60 new people every month that are just found me because of that one video. But what's sad, here's the sad thing. This is more information than you guys care to know. But I can do a new content video that does really, really well. And then, 3 or 4 weeks later, it gets buried in the not the comments, but just the algorithm. And part of that is probably due to posting a lot. I have no idea. assignment. All right. That's very good, Ted. Yes, write out those assignments. All right. I'm going to wrap up. Somebody else. So tomorrow is Thursday, and normally I go live for my our membership group, and if anybody who's watching this now who's not a part of our group wants me to go live, please speak now and let me know if you want me to go live for the community. Tomorrow what we're going to do, let's talk about that. So tomorrow I'll go live around the same time, probably 9 o'clock. Actually, you guys know that's my day off, and tomorrow will actually be a good day to get some things done inside the studio. And one of the things we're going to do is we're going to take the Ray Charles idea, and we're going to practice that bass line. And the other thing we're going to do is put that with the right hand, so we really get flowing with that. And there's some really cool, very simple groove things that you can do. If you learn how to do that, if we really break it down, you will not want to stop playing that. That's how fun that is to play that Ray Charles stuff, because it really takes our practicing to the next level when we do grooves like that. I mean, for me, even this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and putting a lick with that, and you just play it over and over and you let it sink in, and then that's why I can talk to you guys and play this without even have to think about it, because I have spent the time and you guys have spent the time to practice things hand separate. All right, any questions? Fire away. I'm going to give you a timer right here and then I'll shut it off. It is 10:12. We are ending the stream at 10:15. You guys can say your goodbyes now. We'll do a lesson tomorrow, and other than that, I've had a blast hanging out with you guys. Thanks for all the likes too. It's awesome. Normally, when I go live, if I send it all out to my email list, which is, I don't know, it's a couple thousand people, it's at least 2,500 or so, and I know that because it's $52 every month just to have the email list. But anyway, whenever I go live and I say to the whole email list, which, by the way, for anybody watching, I give away tons of stuff there. You guys know that. But I hit the button and say, hey, I'm going live. And then a bunch of people will come on the live. But I was very encouraged today that all of you came on. It's really cool. All right. We got like 1 minute. It's 10:13. I'm going until 10:15. Just a little side note for anybody listening is that I'm going to do some things, maybe even tomorrow, where I literally practice. I'm going to start practicing some classical things as well as jazz things, and getting ready for upcoming things for gig wise, and where I'll just say, hey, you know, I'm practicing, and ask questions or whatever. So it won't be a teaching moment, but it'll be just me practicing, getting some work done, and hanging out with you, kind of like what we're doing now, except I'll actually be practicing some. So anyway. And another thing to look forward to, as we got 1 minute, is I want to do some setting up, 10:14, setting up of equipment for you guys. There are lots of apps you can use to practice with, and set up your speakers so you can feel what it's like to play in a band. Or if you want to learn certain songs, there's certain software and certain ways you can set up your keyboard so where you can hear backing tracks, and Vicky does a great job with backing tracks and everything. But anyway, I always love to help people with technology. If you're looking for it or trying to get your studio space set up to where you can practice and have a bunch of training tools or backing tracks or things like that. So I'm your guy if you need help with that, and I would love to help anyone with that. All right, guys, that's it. All right, 10:15, I'm out. Have a great day. Practice today. Thank you for today. Keep the likes coming in the comments. It really helps me know that you guys are enjoying this. I very much appreciate each one of you, whether or not you said anything on this live or not. Just the fact that you care and you that you're hanging out with us is awesome. And very much appreciate each one of you. Love to hear from you. You guys know you can email me, bob@iMusicAcademy.com. And, of course, our members can email me, text me, whatever, just to say hello. Have a great day. And most importantly, keep having fun with music. All right, Jeffrey, good to see you, brother.